While we stay here, there are people who are, going in WhatsApp groups, telling that the University of Hyderabad Students Union had betrayed the student community. And what is this betrayal they are speaking of? This betrayal is us not attending a meeting which a students organization is claiming that they have arranged. We have received no intimation from the government or any other agencies. And the meeting that was called at 11 o'clock in the morning, at the same time at which we were planning this protest. And I just want to say that our confidence lies within the student community and not their government. And we'd rather, the Students' Union would rather be here with the students in this scorching heat than be in their AC rooms. We, Students' Union, they are accusing of betraying the student community by not going for negotiations with the government, by not going for a talk. Rather, they are accusing us of doing stunts. They are accusing us of breaking the laws by protesting. I just wanted to ask them, was Gandhiji betraying the entire Indian community when he went for salt satyagraha? Just simply imagine. So these kinds of students, as a student community, we should identify these kinds of voices within us and should isolate. This is a fight that we are all in, and this is a fight where we will never bow our heads down. And another criticism that is coming against us, I just wanted to clarify, because all of us are here, is that this is a premature escalation. Shame. I tell you one thing, there are people who only see when the votes are involved, when there is elections involved. I would like to remind them that the struggle for university land didn't start yesterday or today. It was there. It had started years back. We even went to the Central Parliament with our demands. It is not that we were not aware of the auction until yesterday, so that we called for a protest today. No, we had sat with the administration. We had heard about what their plans are. We are not satisfied with how the administration is handling this issue, how the state government is adamant on taking away the land, and that is exactly why we decided to escalate it. And this escalation is not the end of it. It is not the end, it's just the beginning of our fight. And you might be aware how we are always talking about attacks on public education around the year. Many of us might not be aware what these attacks are. And this is the greatest example you can see. This is the greatest example of attack on public education. Just imagine, is it because it is a public university? It is a university where students coming from poor families, students who are coming from working class families are studying, that they have the audacity to take away our land without our consent? Is it because they think for a public university, whatever arms they give will be enough? Is it because they think we don't have rights over the land? We don't have rights over resources. We don't have rights to quality education. I ask I ask all the dalals of this government, the government itself, to answer this. Is it because we are a public education institution that we can be, our campus can be torn away and sold to vultures, to corporate vultures? And this Congress government has come into power promising for the state of Telangana two major promises on education and on employment. And what we have seen and what we are seeing is all these promises are just a mask for them to hide their corporate appeasement, to hide their appeasement of the billionaires and millionaires of this city, of this state. Or else, why would a government that came into power promising education to the marginalized sections of this state would deploy police on students who are asking for the TSE pass scholarship that the government has not received for the last 3 years? Just imagine, 3 years students are waiting for their scholarships. What? And this is a government who unleashes police force on students who ask for it. This is a government where schools, government schools are being shut down. We are not here because we are BJP or BRS, like they claimed when we went for TSE pass protest. We are not here because we have some political agenda that we have to, fulfill. We don't want to be your MLAs or MPs. We don't want to be your dalals. We are here because we are students. We are here because we are students of public institutions. We are here because we know, because even if you mislead us, we know that we have rights. We have rights to get educated without having to sell our land, without having to sell our possessions, without having to take loans from your banks, without having to beg. We are asking for our rights. We are not begging you. We are here because the government and the administration has failed in addressing the issue of ownership of land in this university. The university celebrated its Golden Jubilee celebrations, and yet the university does not have a claim on its land, on the land we are standing in. Today it is the 400 acres here. What if tomorrow it is the 100 square feet that we live in, that they are taking away? What if tomorrow it is the few square feet of our classrooms that they are taking away? What if tomorrow it is the entire campus they are taking away and giving into the hands of Adani and Ambani to run? We are not all billionaires and millionaires here. We don't have lakhs and lakhs rupees to spend. We don't have to. Nobody in the world have to. It is with clear idea that we have these rights that we are standing here. And it is for our immunity against these corporate appeasers, against these corporate brokers who call themselves a government, that we stay here. And adding to that, I've come across the reports of the future developments that is going to come, that they are proposing in the 400 acres of land. They're claiming to have green spaces. They're claiming to have parks. They're claiming to have walkways in the 400 acres, along with IT parks, of course. I'm astonished by their claims. I don't even understand how they come to make these claims. Let's imagine. I mean, exactly there is a word in English to describe what the Congress government is trying to do here. It's called greenwashing. It's called greenwashing. You know, you exploit all the fossil fuels. You just suck them out completely from the earth, and then you tell us that you go and check your carbon footprint. You know, you take private planes for 10 minutes journey, and then you come to us and you say, you know, you go and use paper straws. That will save the environment. You come and take our 400 acres of land, and then you say, we will make green spaces, and those green spaces will be protected by gates, which will not allow a single student of HCU to go there, which will not allow a worker to get inside, which will not allow a person from marginalized communities to go inside, which will not allow a poor man to go inside. It is with clear understanding of this situation that the students are coming here. I can assure you. And how are we going to fight? I'll just give you a context. This case has been fought for almost 20 years now. The High Court judgment came after almost 20 years. It carries that weight. The land is estimated at a base value of 10,000 crores. And according to recent auctions that have been going on in Hyderabad, it is simply worth, the land itself is simply, in their terms, worth 25,000 crores, even if it is worth more to us. And the developments that are going to happen there will be many times that. So we have to understand, it is the government, it is the real estate mafia they are catering to, who we are fighting. And the government is not a simple machinery to fight against. Let us be all clear. They have money power, they have muscle power, they have the entire police force with them, they have deployed many of them here. So how are we going to fight them? We have something that they don't have. We have the strength of unity. We have the students coming together from all across the country. We have students all across the classes, all across castes coming together here, all across political differences coming together here to stand for our beloved, for our rightful land. This is our strength. And today as we begin, we see a large part of student community coming together here, and many more are still coming. But this is a movement that will only rely on the strength of students. We cannot match them with our money. We cannot match them with our muscle power. We can only match them with the resilience we have, with the unity we have, with the dedication we have to fight for this cause. And for that I urge each and everyone, this should be the issue that will be talked about throughout our campuses for the upcoming days. This should be what we talk about in our classrooms, in our hostels, in our messes. How can we as a university survive without land? How can we? How can we survive without our beloved Mushroom Rock, where our fond memories were made? As you might not be aware, Mushroom Rock till recently was a heritage site, a protected heritage site. While the BRS government was in power, the Hyderabad Urban Development Authority Act, the HUDA Act, was repealed and a new act was made, Telangana Heritage Act, in which they omitted the mushroom rocks as heritage site. So they just made it not a heritage site with a clear vision that they are going to plough this land, they are going to raise this land, and they are going to they are going to feed it to the corporates that are waiting outside our gates. It is not just a matter of Hyderabad University. It is a matter of the entire Hyderabad city. It is a matter about environment across the world. 400 acres of forest cover is being raised, is being cleared up. You imagine the rate of environmental destruction that is going to be caused. Last winter, a report came. Hyderabad University campus recorded the highest nitrogen pollution. What was the cause for this pollution? The increased traffic in the Gachibowli area, the increased number of vehicle usage, and the destruction of forests, the destruction of trees. And what is the intelligent, strong Congress government's strategy to fight it? If you have nitrogen pollution in a particular place, you just cut off the trees, you clear up the place, you give it to some corporate houses, they will fit glass doors, they will fit glass windows, they will put AC and they will sit inside and work. No pollution anymore. So clever. So, I think I've been able to communicate some of the problems that lies before us and some of the ways in which we can fight these problems. Again, I'm saying, our students made the campus. We put the ladder up in the mushroom rocks. We made these pathways that you see everywhere. We walked and made these pathways. We came here, we made memories here, we took pictures of the mushroom rock and spread it everywhere. We showed the world how beautiful this campus is. We made the huge departments possible. We put the research output there. We made the thesis. We made the publications. And it is we who made the campus. It is the faculties who made the campus. It is the workers who clean our toilets every day, who make food for us every day, who clean our roads, who clean our departments, who takes care of our health and hygiene, who made the campus. And this government cannot claim that it is their land. It is our land. And this will be our slogan ahead. This will be our slogan ahead. ये कैंपस हमारा है, लाउडली, ये कैंपस हमारा है, ये कैंपस हमारा है, पूरा कैंपस हमारा है, HCU हमारा है, HCU हमारा है, पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटीज हमारा है, With that, I remind the Congress government in power that this is not a feudal fief that your feudal lords have gotten. This is not your jagir. This is the people's land. This is the students' land. This is the workers' land. And I would ask all of you to take up the struggle on our own, to take us the struggle across the campus, outside the campus. And with that, I conclude now. Lal Salam.
Long live, long live! Campus unity, long live! Long live, long live! Students unity, long live! Long live, long live!
Thank you, Nihad. Before we continue, I just want